Hey, Banner, just wanted to let you know we did get the invitation for the celebration of life for your TT recently.
Yeah, I mean, kind of cool that you copied Sam Wilson. It's a big honor. We're definitely going to be there.
I think I messed up. It's actually a celebration of titties.
I mean, I don't want to speak for Nate, but I think we'll still go.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll be there. I'll bring some spinach artichoke jet.
Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast, where we are just a bunch of bros drinking beer and watching TV and movies. I'm your host, the Mayor Jeff Hornacek, and this is our review of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Episode 4, titled The World is Watching. And I am joined by the American hero Nate Thurmond and the mad scientist Brian Banner to review this episode, as we do all of our television episodes, using the 4 Bro 4 Squad criteria, which is the acting, the story, our favorite scene, and then any theories and questions that we have going forward. Let's dive right in. The acting and the cast and their respective performances in episode 4. Nate, we'll toss it to you first. Who stood out, good, bad, indifferent?
So yeah, the people who really stood out to me, it's kind of interesting dynamic because I really like where Wyatt Russell's character, John Walker, is going. His arc through this whole thing, which we kind of saw coming, but it's really great, and he's showing a lot of emotion in his role. But on the other side of that, not a fan of Hoskins. I don't know. It seems like there's like a forced sidekick piece put in here, and like their back and forth, it seems like contrived at points and like forced. I'm just like, I'm not really getting it. Just can we move on and just get back to Walker turning evil and going ape shit?
Good news is spoilers,
yeah.
but
spoiler.
I think he's dead. So I think
yeah.
I think you got your wish there, Thurman.
Yeah, let's jump forward a little bit. Wasn't too disappointed when that happened, but we'll probably get into that a little bit later. Obviously, been doting on her a lot. Carly Morgenthau. And this Aaron Kellyman been doing great. Love the dynamic with her and Sam now, that they're connecting. And there's a lot bigger piece to that just in the whole plot of the episode. But it's really cool seeing them kind of connect. And she's kind of like in a middle ground now, because obviously what is behind what she's doing can be seen as good, but a big theme for this whole thing is the means justify the ends. And that's kind of what she's seeing her role as, but she's doing a great job and killing it. And then the last thing real quick that I'll jump in on, I miss Dr. Rayner. I miss those scenes. Hopefully we'll get like an ending one with Bucky and Sam, and like an ending resolution where they're going for like one last council meeting, but I've kind of missed those meetings with them.
Very true. I almost wish she like forced him to like zoom into a
that would
therapy session. I agree with everything you said. I'll just echo real quick your point about Hoskins. He this whole time has just felt like Diet Coke Sam Wilson to me.
Yeah.
Like, do you get it? He has a friend who like.
I think he's more like Diet Shasta.
Wow.
Shasta.
What's the like Walmart Dr. Thunder?
Dr. Thunder.
Yeah, like the Walmart.
I don't know. Not to get off on a tangent. I don't know if like Shasta, is that like a regional thing or is that like across America?
It's a great question. I don't think I've seen it where we're at.
Yeah.
I definitely have it where I'm at.
We'll come back to that.
So like when Hoskins died, me personally, I was like, I didn't feel anything, but obviously the way it affects Walker, I think, was done really well because Wyatt Russell has been doing such a good job. And I just think overall, this episode was finally where we sort of get the character payoff to a lot of the building up of the narratives for these respective characters we've gotten.
Absolutely.
Morgenthau had the most meat on the bone she's had the whole show. Russell, most meat on the bone he's had the whole show. Zemo, he's a previously established character, but like, dude, Daniel Brohl, Banner, like you said last week, is just a fucking scene stealer. The Zemo he's playing here is very different because I think his anger has subsided over the years, as opposed to how mad he was in Civil War.
He's
And like you
almost
said,
having
this
fun now.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
this is a guy that like it's so hard not to root for. Like he's probably going to betray them in the end, but he's too much fun to lock up right now. Like leave him out. So I agree with everything Nate said, and I think this was the episode where they really told the actors, "Hey, we've given you the runway in the previous episodes. Now just fucking take off. Do what you can do with your character." Banner, what you think?
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. Hoskins, I could leave him. Honestly, he's not to discredit
He's dead now.
right, but not
Let
to
go.
discredit the impact that his death is going to have.
Yeah.
He's just not. He just wasn't great at play. It was a forced role, like you said. Wyatt Russell, my God, dude's just fucking killing it. You were truly seeing a man trying to suppress the evil, but can't. You know, that's what the super soldier serum does, is it brings out, it just amplifies what you already have inside of you. And you could tell he knows that, and he's trying to stop it, and he just can't. And it really came out in this episode, I thought. Especially that scene when Sam goes in to talk to Carly, and it was 10 minutes, and he can't wait 10 minutes, and you can just see he's chomping at the fucking bit.
Oh, he's getting amped up. At that point. Yeah.
So fucking well done.
And that was even pre serum.
Yeah.
And Bucky's kind of like, I sort of want you to try to freak out so I can kill you. Like,
yeah, my left arm is ready.
So I can have an excuse to just choke slam you, because he would have easily murdered him and Battlestar if he wanted to.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? We're ready to move on to the story and the plot.
Let's move on.
Let's go.
All right, so we had quite a bit happen here, and I think it really set us up well for the last two episodes. But IMDb briefly summarizes episode 4 with the synopsis of John Walker loses patience with Sam and Bucky as they learn more about Carly Morgenthau. And Banner, listening to last week's review, which I couldn't be on, you actually had a theory about the different sides in the conflict here that I think kind of came to fruition. We basically have a lot of anti-heroes simply because we don't know who the power broker is, which we'll get into in theories and questions. But this sort of established, although they're, like Nate said, the ends justify the means, is sort of a weak justification at this point. But the Flag Smashers, easy to empathize with. Sam and Bucky, obviously easy to empathize with. And then you sort of feel sympathy for John Walker in this episode. So what did you think of how the story treated all those different factions?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because you have all these people that really, at the end of the day, they all want the same thing. They all kind of want peace. They're just going about it completely differently. And what makes a good villain is that you empathize and you understand where they're coming from. You're like, I kind of get where you're coming from. It's kind of fucked up to kill people, but like I understand it. And that's what we're getting with obviously the Flag Smashers and Carly Morgenthau even more. So much meat on the bone. You kind of got to see what it was like for her when everybody came back from the blip. And you see the struggle that all of these people are having as they're getting displaced from their homes. And then you have everything with this, was it Doyla? What was her name?
Mama Doya, I think.
Doily.
Yeah. Doily.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's a different thing altogether.
Danya. I can't
Mama
remember.
Danya, that's what it was, yeah.
Danya. I'm kind of curious to see, we don't really know who she is other than she was kind of this Mother Teresa type that took everybody in, right? And it kind of seems like now Carly wants to take up that mantle to an extent.
I like the line Battlestar had. I hate that name, and I hated it in the comics too. So we'll say Hoskins, that he had to Walker when he was talking about tracking Morgenthau, and he goes, "Yeah, she's giving medicine to people who are sick." So that kind of helps your public image, right? Like, yeah. I understand we want to catch her, but we can't just like tear through a city to get her. So no, I thought the story here really did a good job of. I think we have a more clear idea of what each side stands for at this point, and they're kind of letting the audience be like, you can sort of decide who's good and bad. Nate, what'd you think?
Yeah, I really like this episode because we got more of, I don't know if you can call it a character arc since it's a group, but that's what I'm going to call it. More of a, well, character depth and a good character arc for the Flag Smashers. You kind of get the insight, like you guys were saying, of why they're doing what they're doing. A huge thing, which I think we talked about last episode, which is dragged over into this episode, which is the means justify the ends, which is kind of what you're seeing with all these different characters from what they're doing. And really, the only person who's not falling into that right now is Sam. He's kind of the straight guy at this point. He's right in the middle of everyone. He's trying to bring everyone together, but he's realizing that they can't keep doing it the way they're doing it because it's just not going to work, and it's just going to cause more heartache. But yeah, you really start to sympathize with the Flag Smashers in this episode. And seeing where they're coming from, saying, "Hey, things were great," and then the blip happened, and then came back, and now it's kind of chaos at this point. But yeah, really, really excited for the setup of this episode, and then also getting the Dora Milaje in this, and getting a little taste of Wakanda. So that was
so cool,
pretty badass seeing them jump back in.
Love the flashback scene.
Flashback scene at the very beginning was great.
Yeah.
With basically the curse being cleansed from Bucky at that point. But really touching, really emotional. And I bet we're going to get a little more of them in the next few episodes because I think they're not going to give up on their pursuit of Zemo at this point.
I think they'll just let him go. It's fine.
Well, we'll see. And then overall, what a gritty episode. It was getting darker, grittier. I mean, we're seeing blood on Captain America's shield.
The last two have not shied away from the visceral nature of fighting.
I'm a little surprised, but also not at the same time that this is Disney Plus. That they want to go darker and that they're letting them go this. I mean, you could very easily add a couple fucks in this, and it wouldn't be that much harder to go make it R MC-17 or whatever TVMA, whatever it is.
Yeah, my shit meter that I was keeping track of was 3, maybe 4. I might have missed one. One of them was ape shit, which was kind of fun. So
always good to throw in ape. It's creative for the writers to find a way.
Yeah, we're probably getting into a little more, but yeah, a lot of symbolic nature of that final scene with Walker from Civil War with Rogers and Stark, but a little different ending in this case. So great kind of simile and throwing back. And there were some other ones in the episode too that we might talk about later.
So moving on to best scene, you guys already kind of talked about mine. It was that opening scene for me with Bucky and Ayo from the Dora Milaje in Wakanda when they were basically Shuri and the rest of Wakanda was helping to fix the mental damage that had been done to Bucky through the Winter Soldier program and through Zemo. And I know it was very brief, but I mean, my God, Sebastian Stan was acting his fucking ass.
Yeah, that was really great.
Like, of a guy who's sitting here, like, if this doesn't work, I literally think he might have killed himself, like, out of his guilt. If they, after all that, they still couldn't erase what Hydra had put in there. And he's, like, fighting it at first, and then when he realizes that those strings that she's pulling aren't attached to anything anymore, he almost just wants to cry because he's so happy. And I actually think he does cry. So that was, like, a beautifully acted
Bawling.
Yeah. So that was really
and
cool.
It was really cool how all you saw was or in the forefront was the flames from the fire. Mm-hmm. And you were kind of looking through the fire at him. Really, really cool.
And I think for me, with so many awesome action set pieces in this episode, the fact that was still the one after I watched it that I was like, that was my favorite part, just shows you how. I mean, it was just earned too because we've had so much time with these characters. You really feel for them.
Yeah, very, very well done.
Nate, how about you?
So it was kind of split between two scenes. I'll take one of them here. And I think Banner kind of alluded to this. We were texting off pod earlier, and he said the choreographing was great in this. And the fight scene when they were at the kind of the Flag Smashers headquarters or whatever, whenever Walker's going after them, and then Bucky and Sam have to meet up. That was just really well done. There were obviously some throwbacks again with Bucky wielding a knife. In that
He's
episode,
so fucking
nice.
yeah, it was so cool.
He
Like
picked
the
up the
little
knife,
flips
like,
and everything.
It's over.
Again, that's another like testament to how good Sebastian Stan is. Like that is
Mhm.
actually him doing a lot of that.
Bucky with a
insane.
knife is like Jordan with the fadeaway jumper. Like it's over.
Not to get off on a tangent, but noticed he was in Gossip Girl as I was watching that with my wife recently. I was like,
Sebastian Stan
is that
is?
Sebastian
Really?
Stan? Yeah, he plays like Christian something.
You know,
But
he's
anyway.
also the douchebag villain in Hot Tub Time Machine.
Versatile.
Yeah.
He can do it all.
But yeah, in that it was cool seeing some of the ways that they were allowing them to fight. Falcon using his wings to like bull over somebody, using his jetpack and turning around and blasting
Burning
somebody.
that dude.
Yeah,
God,
and then
so
kicking him in
cool.
the chest. But yeah, really great choreography in that. And like I said, using some new fighting techniques and stuff like that. It was really fun to watch.
Sam has come a long way since Ant-Man whooped his ass at
Mhm.
Avengers HQ.
Yeah.
I have to say.
For sure.
How about you?
So I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Jeff, with so many action set pieces and these amazing fight scenes. It was kind of refreshing that my favorite scene was when Sam and Carly meet for the first time, and you have John Walker, Bucky, and Hoskins and Zemo have to stay out. They basically first they have to convince Walker like Sam has to go by himself. This is what he did. Like he helped people with PTSD for a living. He's worked with war vets. That's what she is going through right now. Let me do that. And then showing how Carly was very reluctant at first, but Sam was able to, like you said, Nate, connect with him.
Mhm.
And they understand. At the end of the day, they want the same thing. They want everybody to be happy and peaceful. They don't want to have to do this, but it's how you're getting there that Sam has the big problem with. And I think he does a really good job of connecting with Carly, which ultimately makes her put in the threat to his sister and nephews
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, look, I want to believe him, but I need reassurance that I can."
I think Sam was equal parts trying to tell Walker, number one, my method is going to be more effective, but also like these people have super soldier serum running through their veins. I'm trying to save you from getting your ass whooped as well. And that's even where Bucky was like, I don't know, let him go. Fuck these guys.
Yeah, which kind of I think led to him taking it because after he got his ass kicked by the Dora Milaje, he's like, they weren't even fucking super soldiers.
I know.
Well, yeah, no shit.
He's like, I suck. But also, they whoop everyone's ass. So I wouldn't really be like,
Yeah.
I mean, you do suck, John Walker, but that's not exactly the barometer I would use. Anything else, guys? Or we want to move on?
Just kind of honorable mention. It wasn't not even the full scene, but that ending shot to the episode. My God.
I want a fat head of that on my wall.
Is it too early to say iconic? Because I don't feel like it is.
No, that
No.
that will be everywhere. You're going to start seeing that a lot of places.
That is, we're going to look back at the end of this series and probably a few movies, maybe another series down the road, and we're going to look back and go, this was a pivotal point in the MCU.
For sure.
That scene right there.
And him killing that guy, getting the blood on his shield, obviously, but not even giving a fuck that everyone saw him do it.
No.
Is sort of like the crazy thing.
Yeah.
And I think he even realizes at that point, and obviously it'll play out in the next 2 episodes, but that this is the point of no return if I do this.
You just see the crazy in his eyes come out at that point.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not Cap, so I'm not Steve Rogers. Fuck it. I don't
This
care.
is me.
He's
Yeah.
like Jessica from Love is Blind.
Oh boy. Let's not get down that rabbit hole.
Please don't. All right, last one, on to theories and questions. Guys, I really don't have much here.
I really don't either. I try and like play this out in my brain. I'm like, I have no idea where this is going. I have a lot of questions and a few theories that kind of have been supported along the way. And I'll start off with that. But Sharon as the power broker is a large theory going on right now. And like last episode review, I don't think she is, but I think she is involved. One of the things that she says when she was on there for a short period of time on the phone, the power broker went ape shit when Dr. Nagel was killed. And it just kind of said it nonchalantly. She's obviously tied into some crime underlord stuff, but it sounded like she had that like insider information pretty quick.
Right.
So I feel like she's tied in that way. And then another fun theory that's been popping up recently, and I guess it's something that Rain Johnson said. He said that
Dwight?
huh?
Dwight?
No, sorry.
Oh, so that's Rainn Wilson, my fault. Ryan Johnson, is that who you're talking
Ryan
about?
Johnson. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, well, fuck that guy, but what's his theory?
He said you can use iPhones in movies, but bad guys never have iPhones. And Sharon Carter doesn't use an iPhone in this. It's kind of far-fetched, but it's a fun little thing to kind of piggyback off of. Because like even like all the other people like video and like have iPhones, and you can tell that's what it is.
So you're saying that all bad guys use burner phones?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, they're all on Boost Mobile, which is what like
Apple doesn't want the bad rap.
Exactly. I have a theory that General Ross is the power broker.
Okay.
We know Black Widow was originally supposed to be released prior to this, and I believe that movie sort of teases him setting up the Thunderbolts. And Brian, as we've talked, ad nauseum since his introduction to the MCU, who else would be more obsessed with chasing super soldier serum for like the 5th time in the MCU? General Ross. But I think at this point, after whatever we see happens in Black Widow, he has gone full villain mode, because his trying to do it by the book has not worked. So that's my prediction: is General Ross is the power broker.
I'll piggyback off of that, and I'll say that Power Broker is going to show up in the next episode. We will see who the Power Broker is.
Yeah, I think
it'd be Stryker
to it enough.
Could this be our MCU Stryker introduction?
Yeah,
obviously,
I wouldn't be.
Program is part of that. Omega Red.
I don't know. I don't know if the more and more we get into this, and the deeper and deeper we get into this, the more and more I think they're going to hold mutants close to their chest for a while. So, as much as I want it, I just don't necessarily see it happening.
It has been confirmed by Marvel Studios that there is a character cameo, I believe in the next episode, who is a canon to the comics character that we have not seen in the MCU, who was supposedly being portrayed by an award-winning actor or actress. So we've read. Now, we've taken the bait before this on WandaVision when Paul Bettany thought it would be hilarious to tease this about him acting with himself, essentially.
Damn it, Paul.
So I'm kind of at the point where, like, I've been burned before. I want to trust my ex-boyfriend who has a Harley Davidson and a leather jacket, but he just keeps cheating on me, you know?
Been burned one too many times.
Right.
I don't think it'll be an X-Men, though, unfortunately. I really don't. And I don't think we're going to get a Fantastic Four either. I don't know who I think it's going to be, but I think we can rule.
Could be Von Doom. That'd be kind of cool.
It could very easily be Von Doom.
Has Curtis Jackson been portrayed in anything yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, because that would be the low-hanging fruit for the power broker, since that was who he was in the comics.
Right. I mean, at this point, it's almost like they've been teasing the power broker for the whole show, essentially, right? Like even in episode 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had heard the power broker's name at the end of episode 1.
I kind of would like if it's Sharon Carter and she's full villain now, because she really did get fucked.
Yeah. Episode 3, I mean, was called the power broker.
Right. Which is funny because he doesn't show up at all in that episode.
We don't think he or she did.
But that's another thing, though. Sharon Carter showed up for the first time in episode 3.
That's true.
And that's the other thing supporting that theory for her. Randomly, just because I Curtis Jackson, isn't that 50 Cent's real name?
Is it?
I mean, I wish I had a device I could look it up.
I'm looking it up right now. It is Curtis Jackson, yeah.
Okay, that sounds familiar. Okay.
If
anyway,
50 Cent plays the power broker, then
wow.
Is he's won like Grammys, hasn't he? Maybe that's the award they're talking about.
Oh, please don't.
It's cheap.
Whatever.
I got a question, and I don't know.
Hopefully it's not my question, because I only have one.
No, I don't
left.
think it is. So with the Dora Milaje showing up, what are the implications of them? Obviously, they're bringing Wakanda in with Chadwick Boseman's untimely passing. Like, was he supposed to be involved in some of this? Obviously, he is Wakanda. And are they going to allude to anything with Black Panther and that character? Or are we just going to be completely kept in the blind for a while on it?
I wonder.
I don't know.
Yeah.
do you bring in like M'Baku or, I mean, Okoye was like the one I was thinking would show up in this if she does. Head
Yeah.
of the Lachey. Do you go with Shuri? I mean, do you reference something bad that's happened in Wakanda? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, do they kill him off now and like replace him? I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it maybe will have to happen at some point.
Yeah, I don't. I'm just. It brought up that thought in my mind of Wakanda, and he says how Bucky killed, or this Zemo killed T'Challa. All of this stuff, like, I don't know. I'm just very interested about how Marvel is going to handle that very sensitive situation.
Kind of speaking of that, just a question for you guys that I just thought of. Where do you, this is sort of a theory too, but where do you think, now that the Dora Milaje is involved, Zemo will end up at the end of this series?
That's kind of one of the questions I had, not necessarily at the end of the series, but where is Zemo going now? Which I think kind of simple answer, and what I think is happening is he's going after the power broker himself because he wants to basically destroy any of the super soldier serum and destroy that program and together. But at the end of the series, yeah, I'm not sure. He may just somehow end up in. I don't think he's going to die. I think he'll end up back in jail.
Will the Wakandans let him live and go back to prison? I don't think so.
If they get a hold of him, no.
Yeah.
The only way that I think he's either going to be on the run from the Wakandans, or they're going to give him a pass because he is going to somehow save the day.
It had to be one hell of a day to save because
Yeah.
he killed Chaka in cold.
Yeah. If they catch up with him, they're not letting him go, but we'll see.
All right, we got 2 left. I mean, this show has flown by. I know we always say it with these, but I kind of like the 6-episode arc because you can get a little more invested in each episode knowing we're going to get a bigger bite of the apple, you know?
Yeah. Each time.
And each episode's a little bit longer. So we get a little bit. I feel like we're getting the same amount of time in less time because that makes sense.
Same amount of time in less time.
Actually, I get it.
Same amount of story in less time, maybe?
Hey, just
Is that what
okay.
you're going with? Okay.
Like, actual runtime of the show is pretty close, but instead of being over 9 weeks, it's only over 6 weeks. So we get the same amount of time as in runtime.
Oh, I got you. In less time.
But it's
like
in
on the
less
calendar.
time of like real lifetime.
Sure.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll take
Maybe
that
you
off
just have to
pod.
be a scientist to understand.
Okay.
Sure.
So I guess last thoughts, Nate, before we let the people go for episode 4.
Don't forget to get your pets spayed and neutered.
Mm-hmm. That was a big message I got from this episode.
# Bob Barker.
Banner, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that these next 2 episodes are really going to come in with a big punch. They've set them up. Now they just need to knock them down.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where, I don't know, I guess timeline-wise, like, does this connect to WandaVision at all? What's the next property this is going to link to? Because WandaVision, I think we had a pretty clear idea that the post-credit scene and sort of the ending would set up Multiverse of Madness. This could go anywhere in the MCU. Like, I really don't have a clue.
Super random, and I don't know if there's many rumors that just popped in my head. I've been thinking about it really since the beginning, but do we get a Steve Rogers appearance? An old Steve Rogers appearance?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe. Because we
I
still
don't have any
know
theories
if
about
he's-
it. Yeah.
We still don't know if he's alive or not, right? That hasn't exactly been confirmed.
See, and that's what I had said, I believe, on the first episode. The only way I would be okay with us getting Steve Rogers to not discredit what he's already done in the MCU is if he is old Steve Rogers and he is almost mentoring Sam.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that. I want him showing up old, if he does.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You can't show up all yoked out Chris Evans.
Nah.
All right, for the American hero Nate Thurmond and the mad scientist Brian Banner, I am the mayor Jeff Hornacek, and we have been the Bro Force Squad podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. Please join us for the last 2 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It looks like it's going to be a heck of a conclusion. You can follow us on Twitter at Bro4Squad. You can find all of our content on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere you find your podcast. If you type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words, and check out everything that we do on our website, bro4squad.com. Till next time, I got this blue super soldier serum. We're going to divide it in thirds. Let's take it
shot,
as
shot.
Do you have, like, a chaser for that?
Yeah, the chaser is Shasta.
Ooh, grape. Grape Shasta.
What were the Shasta options?
I think they were like orange, grape,